everyone, it's Stephanie here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this simple headband. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to need 6 weight yarn, a hook size of your choice. I'm using an 8, which I actually ended up using a 10, a yarn needle, and scissors. So there's many different yarns you can use for this project. My favorite brand to use for this is the Lion Brand Super Saver or whatever by Lion Brand. This yarn works best for this project. You can also, if you want to use a blanket making yarn, really the best thing to do is the biggest thing is it has to be a number 6 yarn. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started by getting your yarn you're going to be using. You can either use a number 7, another 9, or a 10 millimeter hook. So you're going to go ahead start by making a slip stitch, which if you don't know how to do that, hold your yarn like this, make a bow, hold it, reach through, grab, and pull. And that right there is your slip stitch. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to chain 41. If you don't know how to chain, it's really simple. Yarn over, pull through. That's a chain. You're going to do 41 of them. So again, yarn over, turn your hook, pull through. Done. So you're going to continue to do those until you have reached 41. I'll get back to you after that. Okay, so I finished my 41 chains here. So this right here is my 41 chains I did. Now with this pattern, for that chain set, this fits a size 24-inch head. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on. So for the next step here, we're going to do single crochets in the next 6 spaces. So the second one from your hook, so not this first one here, but the second one, go ahead and insert your hook into that one. Hold your yarn, yarn over, pull through. You should have 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through. And that right there is a single crochet, and you're going to do that into the next 5 spaces. So again, insert your hook, take your yarn and yarn over. You should have 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through. And that right there is how you do them. So I'm going to go ahead and finish them up. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that right there is what you should have. After you have accomplished that, we're going to go ahead and move on to half double crochets. To do this, what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, insert the hook into the next chain. You should have 3 on your hook, just like that. You're going to yarn over again and pull through the first loop. Now you have 3 on your hook, going to yarn over and pull through all 3. That right there is a half double crochet. Let's do that again together. Yarn over, insert, should have 3 on the thing, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3. And that right there is how you do your half double crochet. You're going to do that to the end of the row minus 6. So go ahead and go back to the end, and how I find it easiest to do this is count your chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So right there on that 6th one, what I find easiest to do is to get a stitch marker and put it right through here like this, so you know where to stop. So just half double crochet until you get to your stitch marker or whatever you're using, and I'll meet you back there. Okay, so I finished my row all except for the last 6 here, and what you're going to do in the last 6 is the same thing you did in the beginning. You're going to go back to single crochets. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You should have 2 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through. And you're going to do that for the last 6. So again, insert your hook, that, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And do that for the last 6 ones. Okay, so now that you've finished that, you finished your last 6 runs, you're going to chain 1, right there, and turn your work. Alright, so now what you're going to do is do 6 more of the single crochets in the first 6 chains. And again, don't include the one you just did, that does not count as a stitch. And go for the front loop only, so do front loop only, which means, so if you can kind of see there's like a little V, only go for the outside one, so don't go through both like you usually would. Go ahead and insert, and just do 6 more of the single crochets. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So just like that. Now you're going to go back to doing half double crochets like we did through here. So again, yarn over, insert into the front loop only, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And just continue doing that until you get to the last 6. Again, I find it very beneficial to take a stitch marker, it can be a bobby pin, it can be anything, and insert it into your 6th stitch so you don't lose it. And I'll meet you back after this row's come to an end. Alrighty, so now that you've completed your 2nd row, you're just going to continue this pattern until it's your desired thickness. Usually I do about 6 rows depending on the yarn. When I use this yarn right here, I go for 6 rows. However, with this yarn, I'm only going to be going with 4. So really, it just depends on the yarn you use, but just continue that pattern until it's the desired thickness. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and speed up the rest of this to make it a little bit quicker, but yeah, that's what you're going to do. Gotta be something. Alrighty, so now that you've finished and you got it to your desired width, what you're going to do is take your tail, and you want to leave a decent amount. I'm leaving about this much roughly, so about double the size of my hand. This again is going to depend on what size you made. But what you're going to do is you're now going to take this and you're just going to pull it up through the stitch like that. You're going to take your weaving needle. I'm using a tipped one, and you're just going to first start by tying this to it, like so. Going to flip your work, so you're at what's going to be the back side, so it's a good time to choose like what size you want it to be the back side and stuff. It should look about the same, so yeah. Now what you're going to do, once you have your back side, you're going to take your weaving needle and you're going to go through that very first stitch. You're going to go through both of them just like that and pull. Alright? And you're essentially just going to weave this back and forth. What I like to do now is reinsert it through the same side here. Try to get it hidden almost so that it goes under. Like that. Now you can work on the inside here like this. What you're going to do is just, if you can see that, sorry, take your needle and you're going to go through the different ones here and weave it back and forth, continuously going different like this. That's all you're really doing here is weaving. Each row should line up with the other row that you did, so it's essentially going to maintain that straight line. So that's all you're doing is weaving through like that. And what this does is it just makes sure that your seam is secure, and by doing it on the inside like this, you're making sure that it's not as noticeable, so it looks better done. Alrighty, and now if you did this correctly, your tail from both ends should be right next to each other. So just take them and tie a normal knot. Make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want it too tight though, or it'll tighten up your seam. So make it to your desired tightness without overdoing it. Okay, so my camera died a little early, but basically you're done after that. You should have your finished product, which should look something like this. Make sure to check out my Instagram if you like to see what else I make, or to purchase something if you just didn't feel like making it. And thanks for watching.